Hi there, I'm Pete, your product trainer here at Nimble Learning. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use Nimble Author 2. Better still, I'm going to show you how to do that in less than 30 minutes. Start your stopwatch now. Today, I'm building a course for an up-and-coming supermarket chain called Foodie, and I'm starting work on their company induction program. But your e-learning course could be about anything. No matter what industry you're working in or what content you need to deliver, you'll always find an application for Nimble. Starting to build your first course is as easy as 2 clicks of the mouse. First, you click the Courses button. Next, you click Add a new course and you're straight into the course editor. Now you enter a title for your course and click the Create Course button. Once you've created your course, you'll see a welcome pop-up that steps you through the basics of using Nimble Author 2. You can click through it using the button here or dismiss it by clicking the cross in the top right. Once you've found your feet and you don't want to see it again, just click Don't Show This Again. There are 2 main areas of Nimble Author 2, the side menu and the course window. Nimble Author 2 allows you to build through the eyes of your learners, so here in the course window you'll see the course just as your learners would. Over on the left hand side of the screen, the side menu puts everything you need to build your course at your fingertips. The buttons down the side allow you to access the Add Content menu. From here you can drag and drop content blocks onto your page. The Course Structure menu, where you can add topics, pages, an assessment and a survey. The Branding menu, where you can add your company's logo, a background and your brand colours. The Learner Resources menu, where you can add documents and web links, a glossary and information about your course. The Settings menu, where you can control how your learners move through the course and what they need to score on the assessment. And the Publish menu, where you can make your changes live. Nimble Author 2 saves all of your changes as you go along, but they won't be live to your learners until you publish them. When you're ready to exit, you can click the button here, or if you need help, click the button here to access the knowledge base. We've got articles to step you through everything that you'll want to do in Nimble Author 2. Let's get started by getting this course on brand for Foodie. The first thing that we'll do is set a background for the course. The background fills this area around your pages when your course is being viewed on desktop and laptop computers. Let's open the Branding menu. Then we'll click the background option. You can use your own image or pick one from our ready-to-go Nimble library that you're free to use as you need. You'll likely want to use your own image, so let's show you how to do that. To add your background, you click the Upload File button. Now select your image, and you can use most common image formats such as JPEG and PNG. When choosing a background, it's best to use an image that's a pattern or a scene and doesn't feature people. That's because how much of the background your learners see depends on the size of the screen that they're working on. So you should pick something that can look consistently good across different screen sizes. You'll also want to ensure that your image is large enough to look good on modern screens. We'd recommend you use an image that's at least 1920 by 1080 pixels, but you can put any image into the system and we'll do our best to make it look smashing for you. Now, click the Select Asset button in the bottom right. And there you go, you've added your background. Now, let's add our logo. Nimble Author 2 is all about speed and ease of use. Because of that, you add files in the same way everywhere, so you already know how to do this. Let's click the logo option, click the Upload File button, choose our file, and click the Select Asset button. Now, let's check that out in the course menu. You'll see that the logo appears at the top of the course menu that your learners can use to navigate the course. Okay, that's looking good, but let's get our brand colours in. We'll click the primary colour option, and you'll see that you can select a colour using the slider and colour picker, but I'm going to enter the hex code for the colour that I want to use. You'll see that that's updated the progress bar that runs along the top of the screen. This bar lets our learners see how far through the course they are. Now, let's set our accent colour. Again, you know how this works already. Let's pop in our hex code. And now, let's check that out in the course menu. The accent colour is used here and for buttons once we get some of those into the course. And there you have it. In just a few minutes, we've got a course that's looking beautifully on brand for our learners. We took a little time about this because we were explaining things as we went along, but once you get started and you're confident, you'll be doing this in seconds. Now, let's add a glossary, some resources and an About section to our course. To do that, we click the Learner Resources option in the side menu. The first thing that we'll do is add a glossary. Every industry has its own buzzwords and acronyms that your learners might not always be familiar with. You should use the glossary to explain those. Let's click the glossary option, and then we'll click the Add New Item option here. Now, we mouse over here and click the Edit option to edit our term. You'll see that I've just pasted it in. You can paste by either right-clicking and selecting the Paste option, or by using the Ctrl and V for Victor keyboard shortcut. And now we need to explain what that means to our learners. So we'll click here and enter our definition. To add more, you just keep clicking the New Item button. Or to delete something, you can click the bin icon. When you're done, click the back button in the top right. That's our glossary done. Now we'll add some resources to our course. To do that, we click the Resources option. Now that you know how the glossary works, you pretty much know how this works as well. You click the Add Item option and click here to enter a title for your resource. When you're building e-learning, your learners will love it if you include some resources like fact sheets, step-by-step guides and process documents that they can take away and use in their day-to-day role. Because of that, you can attach PDF documents. You click the Select a File button, click Upload File, and pick your file. Once you've got a few files into Nimble, you might want to check what they are. You can do that by clicking the three-dot button and then clicking Preview. Now we'll click the Select Asset button and you've added your file. If you ever pick the wrong file and want to change it, you can just click the cross here and repeat the process. You might also want to add a description to tell your learners what the file is and how they use it. To do that, click here and enter your description. Again, you'll see that I'm just copying and pasting as I go. You might also want to link to websites or maybe to your company intranet. You can do that too. Let's add another item. We'll enter a title for our resource, enter the web address, enter a description, and we're done. Don't forget that if you link to a separate website, your learners could get distracted and end up browsing off. Try and add things into your course as PDF resources wherever possible. Just like before, we'll click the arrow in the top right to close the menu. Now, let's add our course information. We'll click the course information option over here. I'll just paste that in, and you'll see that you can format your text using the toolbar here. So the course information is a super place to put information like your copyright notice, a version number, and who your learners should contact if they need extra help. And now we're done, so we'll click the back button. And let's see how that all appears to our learners. Your learners access all of this from the course menu. And when they click Glossary, Resources or Course Information, it will pop open for them like this. Now, let's build our course structure. To do that, we click the Course Structure option from the side menu. You'll have spotted that when you start building a new course, we add a sample page for you. We're just going to delete that, so we'll click the three-dot button on the page, and then the Delete option. Now we've got a blank canvas to work with, the first thing I'm going to do is add some topics. You can think of topics as just like chapters in a book. They keep your content nicely organised into logical sections for your learners. It's important to know that you don't have to use topics if you don't want to. You might be building a very short micro-learning course, in which case just a couple of pages or an assessment might be enough. To add a topic, you mouse over the Add button here, then click on the Add Topic button, and now we enter a name for our topic. Now we'll add another in. It's exactly the same process. And you can keep on going. I'm going to use the wonders of modern video technology to skip through and add a few more. So you'll see that I've started with an introduction topic and finished with a summary topic. You won't always want to do this if you're building shorter courses, but it's worth doing for more in-depth courses with a lot of content. It's good instructional practice to tell your learners what you're going to teach them to help them prepare to learn. Then you deliver your content. Then you tell them about what you told them about to refresh what they learned. On the subject of good instructional practice, although you won't always need one, it's a good idea to add an assessment to check and reinforce your learners' knowledge. To do that, mouse over the Add button, Click Add Assessment, enter a title for your assessment, and click the Confirm button. We'll come back to the assessment later on. Let's collapse it for the time being. We do that by clicking the little arrow here. It's also best practice to find out how your learners got on with your course. You can do that by adding a survey, so let's add one of those. You mouse over the Add button, you click the Add Survey option, enter a title, and click Confirm. And you're done. Again, we'll come back to this later on. Let's get some pages in. There are a few ways that you can do this. The first is to mouse over the Add button and click the Add Page option. You'll see that you can pick from a range of pre-built page templates. These have all been put together with good sound e-learning design principles in mind. So if you use them, you know that you'll be off to a great start. With that said, if you want to start from a blank canvas, you can absolutely do that. So you'll see here you can pick from an empty 1 or 2 column layout. I'm going to use this template here, so I'll click on it. Now I'll enter a title and click the Confirm button. Now I'm just going to drag this page into my topic like so. So you'll see that you can rearrange your course structure just by dragging and dropping. If you want to add a page directly into a topic, you can click the 3-dot button, choose Add Page here, and then choose your template. If you've built a page that you like and you want to reuse, you can even duplicate it. It's yet another way that Nimble makes building e-learning super easy. You click the 3-dot button on the page, choose the duplicate option, then enter a title for your page. You'll see that I've added an introduction, a learning objectives, and a summary page. Again, although this isn't always something that you'll want to do, if you're building a bigger course, you should definitely consider it. Again, it's all about telling your learners what you're going to teach them, delivering your content, and then summarising what you've taught them. Let's get on to adding some content into our pages. First, we'll select our introduction page and begin editing it. To begin editing, you click the Edit Page button in the bottom right of the screen. The first thing we're going to do is edit the title block. You'll see that when you use one of our templates, we automatically add the title you entered when creating the page. Although your courses have a menu, your learners might not even use it if they don't want to. They can navigate through the course using the forward and back buttons here and here. Because of that, it's useful to signpost to our learners that this is the start of a new topic. I'll click in the title block, and now I'm going to make the text I'm about to type bold, and then I'll type Topic 1 so my learners can easily see that this is the start of a topic. You could also let your learners know this in the body text if you want to, as well as letting your learners know when they reach the end of a topic. Okay, so let's get some text into our body text block. Again, I'm going to click on the block and paste my text. You can choose between a selection of font sizes and styles here, make your text bold, italic, underlined, and add numbered and bulleted lists. If you want to add a hyperlink, you can select the words you want to hyperlink, click the button here and enter the web address. Another neat thing is pop-up text. If you have additional information you want your learners to be able to access, but don't want it in the main body of the page, you can put it in your pop-up text. To do that, you select the text you want to add pop-up text to, click the button here, enter your text. Now, if we click the Done Editing button to go back to the Learner view and click the text, you'll see that it pops up like this. Let's go back to the edit mode. Now, I want to get rid of this block here. Don't worry, we'll show you how to use it later on, but for now, I'll just select the block and then click the delete icon. If you ever do something and change your mind, you can undo by clicking the button down here and redo by clicking the button next to it. A super way to add a bit of style to your text is by using the feature text. Let's drag that out onto the page. Now we'll click on the block and then choose the edit option. Let's enter some text. And if I click here, you'll see that I can choose between warning, quote, or blank. Let's go for quote. So you'll see that this is super handy if you want to display a warning or a quote on your page. Now, let's add an image. You click the image block, then click the edit option. Just like with backgrounds, we've got a library of images that you're welcome to use as you please, ranging from illustrations to photographs. You'll likely want to use your own though, so let's upload some. Although you can upload images one at a time, you can upload up to 10 in one go. I'm just going to select all of my images here and upload them. It's yet another way that Nimble makes your life very easy indeed. Now I'll select the image. When you're picking images to use the biggest and best quality that you can find and we'll take care of optimizing it for your learners. Now I can drag here to resize the image, and if I click this button here, I can drag the image within the block to reposition it. You can also use this menu here to align the image to the left, center, and right of the block. You'll see that I've used a picture of a person here. Remember that people engage with people, and this is a good tip for you. Try to include pictures of people wherever possible, but be sure that their facial expressions set the right tone. Think smiling and happy whenever it works. It's also worth me mentioning that you should try and aim for a consistent graphical style throughout. Avoid mixing photographs and clip art if you can. You'll see that I've got just the one image here. As a general rule of thumb, you should aim to use a single strong image per page. Images help your learners to retain what they learn, and a single strong image is much better for that than several weaker ones. With that said, because this is the first page in my course, I'd like to add a logo over here. It injects a little extra brand into the course, and it'll balance out the two columns on the page and mean they're roughly even. The human eye finds symmetry beautiful, so try and build a balanced page wherever possible. If you can't do it with a two-column layout, you could try changing it to a single column. We'll show you how to do that in just a bit. Let's drag an image block out. And you know how this works now, so I'm just going to fly through it. I'll pick my image, and there we go. You'll see how the page is a little more balanced now. So that's our first page done. But before you move on, you'll want to check how this looks on other devices. Nimble makes this super easy. The courses you build in Nimble Author are fully responsive. That means that they automatically adjust to the size of the screens on the devices that your learners are working on. If we take a look at the tablet preview, you'll see that the page looks pretty much the same, but your learners won't see the background that surrounds the page on desktop anymore. If you move across to the mobile view, you'll see that your page has been adjusted to a single column. You can predict how this happens like this. When your page is viewed on a mobile, if it's a two-column layout, we'll display the contents of the left column first from top to bottom, and then the content of the right column from top to bottom. So you'll see here that we've got an image in the left column, and then our title, body and feature text, and another image in the right-hand column. If you jump back to the mobile view, you'll see that we've got the image from the left column first, and then the title, body and feature text and image from the right column beneath that. So that's looking pretty good. Now let's move on to our next page. For this page, I'm going to show you how to add audio and video. Because I'm mindful of your time and because you're already comfortable with the basics of editing a page, I'll use some video trickery to jump to a page that's set up just as we need it. And there we go. So you'll see that I've set this page up to share a message from Foodie's managing director, and I've already dragged and dropped a video block onto the page. A lot of people are a bit nervous about using video, but don't be. Professionally produced video is brilliant if you have it, but you can make great looking video using most modern camera phones with a little practice and preparation. Let's begin editing the video block. You'll see that you can link to a video that's on YouTube or Vimeo, or upload a video directly into Nimble. Nimble will accept most common video formats such as MP4, AVI and WMV. With that said, we'd always recommend that you upload your video to YouTube or Vimeo as standard. You can upload your videos as unlisted videos so that they won't appear in search results. Although your videos will look great if you upload them into Nimble, YouTube and Vimeo are video specialists, which is why we recommend them. Because you already know how to upload files into Nimble, I'll show you how to add a video from YouTube. You just paste the link to the YouTube video into here. Now, click the back button up here, and you're done. It's super easy. So, what about if you want to add audio? There are lots of ways you can use audio in your courses. Let's say you're building a fire safety course and you want to let people know what the fire alarm sounds like. You could drop a recording of that into your course. First, you drag and drop an audio block onto the page. Now you edit it. And you'll see that I've already uploaded an audio clip in MP3 format. For audio clips, it's always a good idea to add a transcript. This is helpful if your learners don't have headphones or speakers, and it means they don't have to miss out on the content. To add a transcript, click the 3-dot button on your audio clip. Now click Edit and drop your transcript into the transcript field. Now we'll select the audio clip, click Select Asset, and you'll see that your learners can play the audio clip just as you'd expect. And if they want to access the transcript, they can click the button here. With that said, it's a good idea to avoid mixing video and audio on the same page, so we'll get rid of the audio block. It's worth me mentioning the tutor audio in the bottom left of the screen. If you use this, you can add audio that plays when your page is opened. You set it up in just the same way as the normal audio block. You might use this if you want to narrate all of your pages, but give it some thought before you do that. If your learners have to listen to the audio, it reduces their ability to set their own pace. Also, if you're narrating the page, you'll want to make sure you've got your text exactly right before you record it. Otherwise, you'll have to re-record every time your text changes. Now, this page looks okay, but it's a little unbalanced. We've got more in the left-hand column than we've got in the right. Because of that, we might want to try this page as a single column layout. That'll also give us the benefit of the video occupying more of the width of the page. To change between column layouts, you click the Page Layout button in the bottom of the side menu. We'll click one column and then click the Switch Layout button. And now you'll see that our page content has been automatically reconfigured for a single column. See how that looks much better. Okay, so that's our second page done. Now let's take a look at some ways of adding interactivity to our pages. And just like before, I'm going to cut to a page that we've set up. When you're building e-learning, you should aim to include some sort of interactivity every 2 to 3 pages, whether it's a button to click or a question to answer. You can add questions into your pages as well as in your assessment, and you can choose between multiple choice, drag and drop and free text questions. I'll show you these as part of the assessment and survey. For now, I've set up the page with some text, added a labelled graphic in the left, and we've got an accordion interaction over here. The labelled graphic works a lot like the image block that you already know, but it allows you to add buttons onto the image. This is a super way to help your learners explore images in more depth. You might use them for labelled diagrams or processes. This time though, I'm just going to use it to add a caption to this image. Let's begin editing it. And then we'll add an image. To do that, we click here. Now I'll select an image and enter some text, like so. You can change the icon by clicking here and then selecting from the options. Let's choose Info. You can reposition your icon on the image by dragging and dropping. I'm pretty happy where this one is, but I'll tweak it very slightly. And there you go. If you want to add more, you can keep clicking the Add Icon button and repeating the process. For this image though, we're done. Now you'll see that your learners can click the buttons and your text will pop up like this. Next, let's have a look at the accordion interaction. The accordion gives you buttons, and when they're clicked, it displays text of your choosing. It's a super way of reducing the amount of text on your page. Let's begin editing it. The first thing I'll do is add some more buttons in. Now I'll set up my button labels. Just like you'd expect, you click the label to edit it. That's my first, that's my second, and now I'll just fly through them. Now we'll add in the text that we want to be displayed when the button is clicked. And there you go. You can reorganize your buttons by dragging using these icons, but I'm happy, so I'll leave them as they are. Let's see how that looks on the page. So now you'll see that your learners can just click the buttons and your text is displayed. A third option is text pop-ups, which you can add using the icon here. These look just like the buttons on the labelled graphic, but without the graphic. And you set them up in the same way as the accordion. Because of that, you already know how to use them. Now, let's have a look at some assessment questions. We'll scroll down to the assessment that we added earlier, and you'll see that we automatically add an introduction page. You can edit the introduction page just like any other page, and you'll see that I've already added an image. This page lets your learners know how many questions there are and what the passmark is. To start the assessment, they'll click the button here. I already have 2 questions here. If you want to add more, you can do it from the Add button. Let's take a look at the first question. This page is a multiple choice question. Let's edit it. Just like everything else in Nimble, setting this up is super easy. You pop your question in here, you pop your answers down here, and you set whether an answer is correct using the tick boxes here. I've got more than one correct answer, so I'll flag that here. And then I'll tick all of the correct answers. And you're done. Now, let's take a look at a drag and drop question. For drag and drops, your learners drag the cards from here onto the correct categories down here. Just like before, you enter your question here. And now we'll set our category labels. There we go. Now I'll add some items into this second category, and I want to get rid of one in this first category. If you want more categories, you can add up to a total of 4 using the Add Category button. Let's pop our answers in. And there you go. At the end of your assessment, we add a summary page. It lets your learners know how they got on, and it will show their score here. Now, let's take a look at the survey. The survey is important because it allows you to find out how your learners got on with your course and how you can improve moving forwards. You can add as many multiple choice and free text questions as you like onto the survey page. You'll see here that I've got a free text question. Let's edit it. And you drop your question into here. There you go, as easy as that. Now, let's have a look at our course settings and then publish our course. To access the course settings, you click the Settings button to the left of the side menu. Then you click the Course Settings option here. At the top of the course settings, you can control how your learners progress through the course. If you choose this option, your learners will have to complete the course in the same order that you've set it up, and then pass the assessment. So they'll move from the first page to the second page and so on. This is probably the option you'll want to use most of the time. If you choose this option, your learners can access the content in whatever order they like, but they'll have to access all the content and pass the assessment to complete it. And if you choose this option, all your learners have to do is pass the assessment to complete the course. This is the option you use if you just need to prove compliance and that your learners were able to answer the assessment correctly. Down here, you set the pass mark for the assessment. You do that by dragging the slider. Now, let's get this course published. If we close this menu, then we can click the Publish option from the left of the side menu. Now, to publish our course, we just click here. This means that the changes you've made will now be live to any learners that are enrolled onto the course. If you're building a course to export to another LMS, you can click the button here to download your SCORM package. And there you have it. Building an e-learning course in Nimble Author 2 couldn't be easier. Thanks for watching, and don't forget that if you need more help, you can access our knowledge base and support team from right inside Nimble Author 2. Just click the button here.